there's been so much talk about Trump and Biden, Trump and Biden, Trump and Biden. And, I'm a bit sick of it, to be honest. Now, myself, I'm not a political person, and I couldn't really give a blip about any of it. But today I felt to connect to both of their energies and just share any insights that may come through in connecting to their energies and perhaps their connection as individuals moving forward with the election. Okay, so as I connect with intention to both energies to understand the most important information to come through from Spirit to you guys, I have Trump and I have Biden. Now I'm going to connect to them individually first, and then we'll see where it leads after that. So to start with, I'm going to connect to Biden and his energy. Now, as I connect to his energy, I feel as though there's a great deal of space around him. In the way that it's shown, I'm taken into a scene of him in his daily life, and there being a great deal of, as I said, space, and not only in the room, but also there's just this other element of space. Now, I feel as though this connects to his mental state in some way. There is a sense of incoherence. There is a sense of, where am I? It's like the timelines have shifted and blurred to actual reality. It's like there is missing link to the current timelines, and this sense of spaciousness around him that he's almost in a cloud within his mental state. Now I want to say, as I connect to this, it kind of makes me feel a bit sad, like I feel like he's not a very well person. It's interesting because I feel like Spirit really aligned with me when I said that. He's not a very well person, and it's taking its toll on him, what's taking place in his life at the moment. There is a real sense of weakness and disempowerment here with him as well, like this real downward trajectory of disempowerment that keeps coming in, and it's like he's sort of lost control, but it's like he's almost not aware that he's even lost control or doesn't care, because it's like he's on some sort of constant loop around and around. It does feel like his mental state is almost hanging by a thread in how it comes through. Now, I want to say too, that they're pointing to the references of the past with him. It's like he's stuck in the past ideas about things, and he's repeating them. And it's like it's cycling around and around. So if you were to listen to him speak years ago, it's like he's stuck in the same place, but time has moved on, and he's stuck in the same place with his own ideas, but it's very much due to him being stuck in a strange cloud of where he is and his mental state he's at, that's just rehashing what he's known. It's not about moving forward within that. It's like he's stuck in a loop there. And in some level, on some level he's perpetuating the problems of the past, and it's interesting because they show me a record that's stuck, and I did a reading recently. There's this stuck record, and they're bringing that in here. It's like there is this repeated stuck record that is going around and around and around, and in some way, he's holding the collective there, or contributing to holding this stuck element that's just repeating. So they do show me him in hospital as well. And again, there's a lot of, I feel this in my heart, like he's not in a very good place, this man. And I don't feel like he'll be around for that long. And there is this sense with him that is very much of like, like I didn't get there. I didn't get to where I wanted to get. As he's going downhill, there's a lot of regret and a lot of remorse, and a lot of confusion. Like, he's really not in a very good space at all, this man. Now, I'm going to ask Spirit, to support, to understand a little bit more about his soul's connection to his position and where he's ended up, a little bit more of a wider perspective of his energy. Now, I feel like there's these higher dimensional beings that are with him quite strongly. And to be honest, I feel as though they're connecting more to him now than ever, in the place that he's at with his, going downhill, essentially. There is more spirit connection with him, but there is more confusion. And really it feels like it's time. They're building up to a time to support his transition off the planet, is how this is feeling. And it's like he was a player for a time, and he came to, to give what he gave at a particular time, and that time is up now. And he's really become outdated, and his mind and mental state has become outdated too. It's something that he can't control. He's got no control over it, and it's almost like, it's certain things are forced to change, and within this change, it's like he's just spiraling down, and eventually will spiral out of this existence. So it's kind of looking a bit intense and sad, this whole picture. Just this real elements of disempowerment that comes in here. So in the larger picture of his story, as I said, I feel as though he's going to leave. He will return into the spirit world. Like, there is a silver connected higher dimensional beings, which he's very connected to. It's like he's blending and merging with that energy at this time, and he will return to that space. It's like he came to Earth for a time, for a window of time to give what he had to give, but it was somewhat limited. They show me this, the start and the end of what he gave, and it really having a very short window. And I suppose the life that we live on Earth, the lives and the experiences that we do have short windows. But, in saying that, his was somewhat limited in the perspective and what he could offer, given the construct of what he was giving and the space that he was in. There's a lot of regret. There's a lot of like, I couldn't get beyond this point, and he'll return with the learning. But it's a learning of resistance, and it's a learning of frustration. And there is, beyond that, there will be a lot more learnings. But these are the themes that are coming through to speak to you guys about today. Okay, so yeah, not feeling great with his energy, and with what's going on with him. And again, I say I don't really have a bias to either of them or to politics in general. So it's just me looking into their energy and what can be offered. Okay, so I'm going to move along now to Trump. Okay, to Trump. Okay, as I connect to his energy, I feel like there's a growling energy coming through, and it's like, I can feel it in my heart space, but it's also guttural, and it's growling. It's like a growling red. It's angry, but it's progressive, and it's like, rah, it's just growling. To be honest, it's like it's stirring. The energy is making me feel stirred up, and like I want to yell at him. I don't just tell him to shut up. Like, my response is like he's getting a very vicious, angry response, and I feel as though this is within the collective, and it's showing the response that he's creating. Like he's almost mirroring the depths of the greed and the roaring, raging fire that is within the collective that is going to break out and break free. And I want to say that it is like this element of for the people, but it's pretty ugly. It's an ugly for the people, and I suppose being in his position, it would have to be. But okay, so connecting to him, it's like it's taking me into this pretty ugly red place that sort of is making me feel a little bit ill. Okay, so as I step back a little bit from his energy, because to be honest, it's sucking me in, and it's magnetic with the way that the energy is sucking me into the reading. Whereas, for instance, with Biden, there was no magnetic element going on really. It was very wafty and drifty. But with him, with Trump, it's very like sucking me in. So it's the nature of what he is doing, what his energy is doing. And I feel as though it's demonstrating the larger collective as well, being sucked into this pretty ugly ball of roaring, raging fire that you wouldn't trust. Like it's a trickster as well. So, and it's interesting the way that they're rolling it into a ball. It's like Spirit's showing me this energy as like this ball, and they show it to me, but it's like I'm experiencing it as well. And I feel as though they show it to me in this way, and to experience it in this way so I can articulate what they have to share about his energy. Now, I feel like this energy is, as I connect to it more, it's building, and it's building to move and, move in quite an intense way. There's a lot of red energy around this, which is very, how can I say it? It's very earthly, but it's very masculine in the earthliness. It's bulldozing along. So it's not, I wouldn't say overly supportive or helpful to the earth, but it is on the earth, and it's bulldozing ahead. I feel as though this is the energy that's coming with him. He presents as this thing that is sitting away and sitting back and throwing energy out and throwing energy off. But when you kind of move into him further, there is this more of a coiling up, building energy that is, to be honest, quite scary. It's going to lead into bulldozing on so many levels, and roaring red energy across the earth is how it's being shown. So it's quite brutal in how it's coming through here. So within saying that, I feel as though it's pretty much just shared the trajectory of what's going to take place. As we move forward, there is going to be this element of Trump roaring ahead with the masses, with the collective, drawing them in to move through into the next layers of where we go. Whether that's a positive or negative thing, well, that's another story. But I do feel like there is this great amount of speed and velocity and expanding energy that's taking place within him and his energy that is going to, it's almost like it's winding up to propel forward. And they show the tractors and the things going through, bulldozing through the fields, but then there's balls of it's almost like big rocks, boulders bowling forward, crushing anything in its path. So I feel as though, this really shows where we're going to end up. And I feel like he will get elected, and Biden will be left in the cloud that is rotating, in the mind, in the place of departure. And to be honest, the place that Biden sits is quite sad. It's making my heart feel like, whoa. It's quite devastating, the predicament that he's in, within this instance. And thinking about it, what he's been involved with all the wars and things. I mean, it's hard to have compassion for such a man, really. Well, it's hard for me to, because he's at the hand of so much negativity. But it's not about what I think. This reading and this connection. It's just articulating what Spirit shows to me to be shared. So essentially, I feel like Trump's going to be bulldozing forward. And it will have quite a magnetic effect. Like you're pulled to something. It's like you try to resist it, but you can't, and you're just being pulled like a magnet. And you might stay away for so long, but then the magnet's energy gets a hold of you and suctions you in. And I feel like this is in regards to the way that he's putting out the energy, but it's also going to be in parallel with the trajectory of the timeline, and the authority that he will have in that place. It's like they show the magnet taking a hold once he comes into a position of more power. So, yeah, it's all a bit scary, really. But it's been interesting to look into their energies a little bit, receive any insights from Spirit today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know it's a bit random, this video. And I really, on some levels, I fought with putting it out, not putting it out. I wasn't sure if this is something I really want to put out. But if you're listening to it, it seems that I put it out. Okay, guys, I hope you're all well, and I will catch you again soon with another video. Raven Scry signing off.